So there's no way that I'm going to be able to avoid the reflection in my glasses. This lighting is terrible. Also, Scott, don't pay attention to how many people aren't watching. No one's watching. You're talking about Star Trek Picard Season 2. The Fantasmagorium presents... Oh, we're live? The Fantasmagorium show presents Scotty R37 reviews Season 1... Season 2. Let's just scrap this and start over. The Fantasmagorium show presents Scotty R37 reviews Season 2, Episode 1 of Star Trek Picard. Stargazer. Let's go. Hello and welcome to Set to Stun, a Fantasmagorium show. My name is Scotty R37, and I have beamed down to this planet by myself. I am aware that Star Trek Picard Season 2, Episode 1 dropped today. I was rather looking forward to it. And again, I apologize for the reflection in the glasses. My lighting system is out being detailed. So this is a little murky. So those of you who just listen in the background, good news, because the image is fugly. But I don't like to go solo with just me. So, like, if you just saw an image of me with a waka waka waka, I don't think that's... You can watch me fumble around and smoke. Apparently, I'm very big in the smoking community. People like watching me smoke, and for that, we thank you. So I saw the Stargazer, the premiere, and I suppose a little backstory is involved. I enjoyed Star Trek Picard Season 1, although I didn't think it was Star Trek. And also, I thought Captain Picard was rather too feeble. And also, I didn't actually enjoy Star Trek Picard Season 1, now that you mention it. I know. It's shocking. There's something about it. And so, going into Picard Season 2... I was all sucked into the hype train. I really, really wanted to see Q. I wanted to see Guinan. I really like the cast of Star Trek Picard. I think it's great. Agnes Girardi is, well, Alison Pill is one of my favorite actresses for no other reason than she is one of, like, well, from Scott Pilgrim to Snowpiercer. I'm a fan of Alison Pill. I think that Raffi is an incredible actress, although I don't think that she's had anything to do so far. Elnor, whatever. He's suddenly Australian this season. It's crazy. He used to cover up his accent in the first season, but no, he's just straight up Australian now. Australian Romulan. But it's fine, because we have Laris, who's an Irish Romulan. We'll get to that. Laris is my brand of Romulan ale, if you know what I'm saying. 7 of 9, Jerry Ryan is back, which is great, although her performance seems to be turned up to 11. The gentleman who plays Captain Rios, I don't know the actor's name, but he's great, and for reasons that I will outline. Yeah, I really, you know what, just spoilers right off the hop. I enjoyed Star Trek Picard Season 2, Episode 1. Not because it was all that good, but because it reminded me of good, bad Star Trek. It felt like Star Trek. And my biggest complaint with Star Trek Picard season 1 is that I would watch it and be like, this is all very visual and I enjoy most of it, but it's not Star Trek. Now, when I watched Star Trek Picard season 2, episode 1, I was like, this isn't Star Trek either. But I feel like it's Star Trek. It's kind of, I don't know. You know when you get a nutrition bar, like from the grocery store, and you eat it, but it's covered in chocolate, and you think that it's like, oh no, this is nutritional, but it's actually just a candy bar. That's how I felt about Star Trek Picard season 2, episode 1. It wasn't the worst thing that I've ever seen in regards to Star Trek. It wasn't the best thing that I've ever seen in regards to Star Trek. But it hit all of my Star Trek buttons, and it wasn't jangly keys. The jangly keys in this episode, very difficult to spot. Like you have to be a big fan to get the jangly keys. And sometimes they get the jangly keys wrong, which is incredible. Quite. So, we start off the episode with an action scene, which is 48 hours after the beginning of the story, which I hated. I thought that was like, oh no. So it's one of those ones where you get to the end of the episode and then it flashes back to the beginning of the episode. So you get the flash forward to the end of the episode. And I was like, I don't want that. But I stayed in my seat and I watched the whole thing. You got to watch the whole story if you want to get the whole thing. So, Picard is on Earth and he's doing Chateau Picard things, using transporters to get the grapes off of the vine, which I found, I don't know, a little blasphemous because of Robert. Robert was always a purist. He didn't like this newfangled technology, and I agree with him. But, it's Picard's chateau now. It's been rebuilt. You'll remember that it burnt down in Star Trek Generations. But they've rebuilt it brick for brick, just like Batman Begins. And so anyway, they're doing all the wine making and there's technology abounds, which again, I always thought that I always thought Chateau Picard would be a little bit more traditionalist. And Picard has to go make a speech because he's the Chancellor of Starfleet Academy now. Even though, and also I would like to remind everyone who's seen Star Trek Picard season 1, he spoilers by the way, he died at the end of season 1. He's actually a robot now, an android now, and never really addressed. Somewhat. Guinan does get to it, but we'll get to Guinan. So Picard's, he's found his footing back with Starfleet again. He is a patronly figure at Starfleet Academy. And, things are chummy with Raffi. Raffi's there. She's teaching at Starfleet Academy, taking Elnor under her wing. Because you know what, if you have one character, you should put him with another character, and hopefully those two characters develop rapport. I'm looking at you, Bashir and O'Brien. I love O'Brien, but Bashir needed an O'Brien to work. Anywho, so that's where they are. Soji and Agnes are off hopping galaxies, being diplomatic for the cause of normalizing synthetic life forms in the Federation. And seems like Soji's doing her job. Jurati seems like a lush. So that's another reason why I like Agnes. Anyway, suddenly a spatial anomaly, which I find a bit lazy, but when the payoff happens, it's like, okay, sure. So anyway, there's a spatial anomaly. And the Stargazer, a beautiful redesign of the Stargazer. Like, it looks like a Federation ship. It looks like, and I forget the class of starship of the Stargazer, and I apologize for that because I should know. But I want to say Nebula class, but I think I'm very wrong. But there's like a late 24th, early 25th century redesign of the Stargazer, which is incredible. Well, it's there, and it's got Captain Rios. Captain Rios is the captain of the Stargazer, which is great. It's kind of weird, though. It is a little strange that he just gets to jump back into being the captain. Well, I guess he did stop all those robot tentacles. I don't know. There seems to be a karma system going on in the Federation in the 25th century. Oh, you did something good. Have a ship. All right. Doesn't seem very structured. However, I do have to say that the Starfleet crews in this show, well, the one that we do see, which is the Stargazer, is, I think that they're doing a great job. I think that they're adhering to Starfleet protocol, and they're doing their duties. That's just my opinion. So anyway, there's this giant spatial anomaly. And I'm allowed to smoke when we're on the Stargazer because Captain Rios smokes, which I think is kind of weird, but I dig it. As a smoker, I enjoy that Captain Rios smokes. I apologize for all of the herky-jerky. It's incredible how much good lighting will improve a camera. I feel like Whistler from Sneakers. There it is. All right. So, no. I'm just going to play Pong with the light. Anyway. So they analyze Girardi and the science officer from the Stargazer with under the watchful eye of Captain Rios, Cristobal. They analyze a broadcast coming from the spatial anomaly, and it says, "Help us, Picard." And I was like, what? No, I don't like that at all. But then I remembered I was watching a show called Star Trek Picard. And so I would have appreciated it more if they had just said, "Help us." And I don't know, "Help us, Locutus," which will become more prominent as we delve deeper. Anyway, so it says, "Help us, Picard." So Picard is visited by a diplomatic officer or something, who says, yeah, we got this spatial anomaly, and they're saying, oi, we want to talk to Picard. So Captain Picard takes a runabout to the Stargazer. I don't know how far away the spatial anomaly was from Earth. Seems strange that you could take a runabout. Runabout seems sort of solar system bound as opposed to being inter star system. You can't go between star systems in a runabout. It takes too long. Well, I guess you've done it in Deep Space Nine. They've taken runabouts to Earth. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Moving on. So Picard gets to the Stargazer. Everyone's very reverent, which I thought was nice because, as we all know, Captain Picard's first command was the Stargazer. So he's there, and then they hail the anomaly, saying, "Well, Picard is here to help you." And then they get angry. They get all busted up. A Borg ship comes in. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry, I forgot. 7 of 9 is also on the Stargazer because she was in the same star system at the time of the opening of the spatial anomaly. So 7 of 9 is on the Stargazer with Cristobal and Agnes Is Raffi there? I don't think so. And so, maybe. So, Picard says, I'm Picard and I'm here to help you. And so, anyway, a Borg ship comes out of the spatial anomaly. It looks like a diamond. And I appreciate the fact that they're sort of adhering to the geometric shape trope of Borg ships. That's kind of cool. Anywho, commercial break, and let's all go to the lobby. Then it comes back, and like there's a fleet of Starfleet starships, and I'm talking like Excelsiors. There's a Galaxy class. There are there's so many. It's great. If you didn't like the cut and paste fleet from the end of season 1 of Picard, this totally makes up for it. They obviously listened to the complaint box. But it's fantastic. So anyway, so this Borg ship is coming through the spatial anomaly. Pew pew pew. Laser battle, and a Borg is going to beam to the bridge of the Stargazer, and it does, and it looks like Arkham Knight, I guess. It looks like Batman Beyond, but without the ears, the horns. Anyway, it's there. It starts assimilating the Stargazer. It does a fleet-wide thing where it's going to assimilate the entire armada. And the entire time, 7 of 9 is being like, no, get out of here. Borg are bad. We have to kill them. We have to destroy them. And Picard is awfully placid in regards to the Borg. He's like, oh no, we can open dialogue. And it's like, in the last season, you were traumatized just by being in their bungalow, you weirdo. So I don't get why he's just like, no, it's Borg, it's fine. What? So anyway, the Borg representative, or the assumed Borg representative, beams over to the Stargazer, starts assimilating the ship, and then quotes Picard's mother. Now, earlier in the episode, I apologize, I skipped over this because I forgot it was relevant. Picard has been having this sort of weird memory flashback to his mom saying, look to the skies, don't pay attention to the things that are around you, look to the stars. So anyway, look up specifically is what she says. So this Borg representative, who is, dressed in motorcycle garb, black motorcycle garb, because costuming departments are really, really creative these days. I don't know their gender, so I don't want to assume. It says, Picard, look up. Now, here's my problem with the whole, if they were trying to find a way to get Picard specifically there, I wish, and if it is a Borg ship, which we do not know yet, I am not going to jump to conclusions. I think they should have said Locutus. Help us, Locutus. I think that would have been good. But they're apparently downplaying the Borg. Picard doesn't care about the Borg anymore, everybody. It's fine. It's a thing that happened. Or we'll see in episode 2 that he's actually quite traumatized. So, the Borg representative says to Picard, Picard, look up. And then blows up the entire fleet of all of the starships that I love. And then Picard wakes up in some sort of weird, creepier version of his Chateau Picard. He's wearing a different uniform. He's got like a different, more angular Starfleet insignia. Feels weird. Doesn't feel like Mirror Universe, but certainly a little bit more, huh? And then one of the droids, one of the plastic people, if you'll pardon the racism, from the first episode of Star Trek Picard season 1, the guys who are like, good morning, Mr. Pincus. And Mr. Pincus says, good morning, plastic people. Well, one of those guys is Picard's butler or whatever. So Picard's like, who the hell are you? What are you doing here? This is my house, even though he doesn't remember just being blown up. And then, joy of joys, John Delancey arrives. And he says, oh my, you've gotten old. Let me catch up. So when he first shows up, they do like a de-aging thing, which is pretty cool. And then he snaps his fingers as Q is wont to do. And totally ages up. And they have a little bit of banter back and forth. The trial never ends. And see you next week on Star Trek Picard. So, the fact that I remembered the entire plot is top side of 5 out of 10. And also, I didn't mention Larissa. I think it's Larissa. Yes, it's Larissa. Nerissa is from season 1. Larissa is also from season 1. Larissa is the Irish Romulan. Romulan MILFs. What can I say? Actually, she's not a MILF. She's just she's a Romulan cougar, I suppose. Panther, maybe? I don't know. But there was sexual tension, and Picard wouldn't pull the trigger. I'll give you 2 guesses why, and they're both Beverly. So yeah, it's a really touching scene to see the conversation about why didn't you ever settle down now, and that I think brings me to sort of a flight of fancy, is that I think that Star Trek Picard, while taking place in reality, is what happens if you develop the idea of Kirk and Antonia from the Nexus into a full-length television show. It felt very Nexus. I'm sorry. I'm going to pause for a second and go to the chat. Doug, the first episode. Tiki Fire's Retro Clubhouse. Welcome to the chat. And thank you for watching. And oh my, you liked it. A bit predictable, sure, but still better than the mess of season 1. Based on this first episode, I absolutely agree with you. I think that it feels more like Star Trek, in my opinion. Cam's Crash Courses at the Fantasmagorium show. Hi, Scotty. Hi, at Tiki Retro Fire Clubhouse. Retro Clubhouse Fire. Retro. Why do I keep Tiki Fire? My God, I'll learn to read someday. Tiki Fire is a hello to Cam. And Cam's Crash Courses says none of it is relevant. I'm a real boy, Picard. I mean Pinocchio. Well, you know what? It's part of my suspension of disbelief. It's always there. It's in the back of my noggin. And I did mention that Guinan does say that it's like, I've known you when you were flesh and blood, or servos and polymers or whatever, something like that. I'm gonna let it slide, because ultimately Picard, like the character of Picard, ended in all good things, in my opinion. Everything else has just been sauce. So I'm fine with it. So he's a robot now. It's fine. And pardon me, an android. Matt I says, coming in way late, but this episode was very medium to me. It's top side of medium. I think I'm giving it like a 6. I think I'm giving it a 6. My only problem, 2 problems. One's bigger than the other one, and that's not a pun. I do not get. There were flashes of Picard in Patrick Stewart's performance. Just because Patrick Stewart played Picard doesn't mean he's doing it now. And I would say it was, it didn't feel like Picard. It, like 5% of it felt like Picard, but a lot of it is just like, okay, so Patrick Stewart showed up. And then also, I don't think that Whoopi Goldberg played anything more than Whoopi Goldberg either. I don't think that there was much channeling of the original Guinan spirit. And also, her aging up as described was sort of a conceit. It's like, no, I've been living with humans so long, I have to start looking old. All right, I guess. But I would give it a 6. I would give it a 6. Out of, well, I would say out of season 2 premieres, let's see. I don't remember the season 2 premiere of Voyager or Enterprise. I don't remember the only episode of season 2 that as the premiere that I remember off the top of my head at this current state is The Child from Next Generation. And I would say that The Child is probably better than Picard season 2 episode 1. Although it is a battle, I'm not saying it's an easy win. I'd have to find out what the other season 2 premieres are. What I'm saying is if you like Star Trek and you like sticking through to second seasons, this is something that intrigues me towards the rest of the season. And I am looking forward to episode 2, especially with that Q stinger at the end. There seems to be much more of a Starfleet presence, and I like the structure of Starfleet. It's part of the reason why I'm attracted to Star Trek. It seems very adversarial. There's no, I don't know what we're doing in terms of, well, we're boldly going, I suppose. There's no seeking out new life. There's no, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it, though. Seems like a soap opera. Maybe I'm like reading a comic book. Anyway. Oh, Matt. Good call. I don't know if you touched on it. Did you think the bald people at that dinner were Deltons? Absolutely, I thought that dude was a Delton. Absolutely, I did. And I was absolutely down for it. Agnes and a Delton? I don't know if that guy's oath of celibacy was on record, but for Agnes's sake, I hope not. Although that banter back and forth with the Delton dude, and it was like, I don't know. I was cleared of murder. I'm not dating material. I thought that was rather great. But again, I love Alison Pill. It was fantastic. Tiki Fire's Retro Clubhouse says they mentioned it was Deltons. Yeah, no, didn't they say that they were going to sing a Delton folk song or some poetry or something? But yeah, no, it was there. So, but yeah, no, I'm glad everyone picked up on the Deltons or the Delton. You know what? They should make some sort of Victorian television show called Delton Abbey. Just a bunch of bald people having weird sex, but very polite. Yeah. Anyway, BBC, Paramount, call me. Sorry. Also, I don't know if you know Matt again. Thank you so much for commenting, Matt. It's a pleasure. Also, I don't know if you mentioned it. That Borg cloaked figure is his mom, right? I hope to heck not. That would be awful. Because of, the Red Angel. Wasn't that Michael Burnham's mom? I don't necessarily need cloaked figures to always be my mom. Like, and also I don't want Star Trek to be turned into a your mom joke. Seems ripe for parody. Rife. Anyway, that seems to be the end of what I have to say. I don't think I have much more to add on episode 1. Thank you so much. I'm going to try and do these after every episode of Picard. hopefully in the future people can join. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Live long and prosper. And I don't know. I'm allowed to wear a red shirt because I'm a Scotty. I'll talk to you guys soon.